Hi, I'm Mark Johnson. I'm your instructor for this term for environmental um, studies, and I have a vision for your learning that might surprise you. I hope it will please you in the long run. First, if you'll look at the page I have open here, content mastery. We're going to teach you about the environment, and you're going to learn about the environment, and you're going to prove you learn about the environment. You're also going to learn technology skills and you're going to learn communication skills. Why are those things important? Well, my seventh graders that I had when I student taught use computer programs. They use Google Docs and they use Google Sites. They make cartoons, they make videos, they embed them in websites, and they send me on Google Docs copies of their papers still to review. They're smart, but they learn to do it. And it's not hard to learn. You might be afraid of it, but you know what? You're getting old like me. And people think old people just aren't up to date. Well, you're going to be out there competing in the job market. You're going to have to compete with the seventh graders or they're going to take your jobs. In a few years, they'll be there to take your jobs. And they'll have skills that you don't have. So you have to catch up with them. You have to develop technology skills. You need to know how to use Google Docs, and you need to know a few other things. But most of all, you need to feel comfortable using technology to communicate. Let's talk a minute about communication skills. Communication is all about being a leader. Think about the local news media and your local anchor persons. Maybe you'll have to go and watch that to be able to think about it, looking at it now from a different angle. I want you to compare them with the CNN news anchors, or ABC or NBC, that is the national. Compare the local with the national. The local anchors get paid $50,000 a year, I suppose, something around there, and the national get paid $500,000 a year. Why? Because they are better communicators. Most people don't know that news anchors write their own scripts before they go on. So when they're looking at the teleprompters, they're looking at scripts they wrote. And at the national level, it's pretty easy to see that those are the people who use English better and more precisely with less jargon than the local people do. It's worth a lot to your future to be able to communicate. The new rage today in education is competency-based instruction. This means we don't ask you to do multiple choice questions. We don't ask you to regurgitate things on a test. We ask you to prove that you learned something. And there's a couple of ways to prove that. In some cases, you prove it by doing it. It's a performance-based thing. Can you build a doghouse? Get your saw and hammer, carpentry tools, and build a doghouse. If you can, you pass. And if it's pretty, you might get an A. The other way that you prove content mastery is by communicating, is by explaining it to others. If you can't explain it, you don't know it. Let's face it. You can think you know it. And we think, all of us, that we know a lot of things until we try to explain them to other people, and then we find out sometimes maybe we don't know them that well. So the way to learn is to teach and to do, and to write it down, and to be able to explain it to somebody else. So in the new world, and to make you more competitive for jobs, I want you to learn to communicate better and more professionally. I want you to dot your I's and capitalize your I's and capitalize the first word of a sentence, and I need you to learn APA reference style and citation style and the difference between a reference and a citation. And I'm going to introduce you to some technology skills that you'll become familiar with very rapidly, and I'll be there to support you. You don't have to worry about a thing. It'll be fun, I hope. Let's take a look at the course. You're going to participate in something. I made a web page. I made a website for all of us to use. And the website is basically a Facebook page. You've got Facebook, don't you? What is Facebook? Well, Facebook is just a page, right? So I can go to the controls on this, and you'll notice I can add a new page. I can add a new page with my name on it. And then I can post things on that page. That's Facebook. Most of you do Facebook, so you can do this. Same thing. What I've done is I've constructed a course template, and I basically set up pages, different pages that are chapters in our book. And eventually we'll add more pages based on a complete outline that I have here from the course and what some people think you should learn in environmental studies. Okay? So I'll have videos on this site that will teach you how to do things on this site. Right now we're on the introduction page. Let's take a look at the energy page. I have nothing there. It's blank. Why is that? It's because I'm going to ask you to write this page. I'm going to give you some guidance, and I'm going to provide you with an outline, but I'm going to ask you to write this page. And what you can expect when I get done with the site, and when you get done with the site, is that maybe our site will look something like this. It will be prettier than what you see now. It will have perhaps the photographs and pictures or the roster of all the participants, and it will have different pages with different information on each of our chapters. And then you might want to add some pages. I'll teach you how. So this is a new way of communicating with technology. It's also a new way of learning and studying. I know you can do it. So we'll teach you how. This was my page. I made a video and embedded it. Messages to parents. I'll teach you how to embed videos and to put pictures on and so forth. Here's a video straight from YouTube, easy to embed, that explains things. So in the writing, we minimize the text, and we do a good job with the text, and we add illustrations to support the text, just like a textbook. It makes learning more efficient. And you'll see that you'll enjoy participating in it. Okay, you're going to see me. You're going to see me. We get back to our course here. There it is, introduction. You're going to see me. I've got a blank right here, right now. But you're going to see me with this camera the first day of class. I'm going to walk in with this camera and I'm going to turn it on, and I may hand it to one of you to film the class so that we can post what goes on in class. And if we're not posting lectures, we may be posting lab experiments so that we can document what we do and demonstrate how to, not just following written directions, but actually show how to do it. We'll put that in our book too. You'll be able to use our book to study from. You'll be able to add resources to it when you find them. And you'll do it as a team so that everybody isn't doing everything, but you're doing specific things well and sharing them. And so you'll end up with a better product than any of you could do alone. One of the important things that employers tell us is that they want people who know how to work with other people. So we need to practice that. It's not always easy, but it is almost always very rewarding. I'll have an assistant or two in class with us. Walter likes to help out. He's usually happy, but sometimes he's grouchy.
Stop squeezing me, you moron.
Oh, so don't worry about Walter, but he can help. He'll always be there to help you if you need it. And I have a couple of others too. So that's the introduction. I hope you will enjoy the class. My name is Mark Johnson, and shortly I'll have all of your names on a roster to embed in this blank space right next to my little introductory discussion.